All right, it's just about 24 minutes after the hour of 6 o'clock. Thank you all so much for joining us here on the No Morning Show on TTT. We are celebrating Indian Arrival Day, even though the holiday is on Monday. But because it's a holiday, we're just going all out today so that we can enjoy a good time and understand, each other's ethnicities and cultures and just how we are all unique, but also how we are the same. Good morning. So this morning with us is Acting Secretary General of the Sanatan Dharma Mahasabha, Mr. Vijay Maharaj. Good morning to you and happy Indian Arrival Day.
Same to you. Good morning, and good morning to all members of the staff, and good morning, Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you so much for joining us. So Indian Arrival Day, what does it really mean, and why is it so important for us to celebrate it?
Indian Arrival Day is a day that we celebrate our ancestral arrival into Trinidad and Tobago in 1845, when our forefathers came to Trinidad to work on the sugarcane plantations. And over the years, we have excelled in Trinidad. The East Indian community, not the Hindu community, the East Indian community has excelled. We have come out of the sugarcane field most of the way, and we are now professionals. We are now contributing to Trinidad and Tobago. And Indian Arrival Day to us means we pay homage to our ancestors. It is a way of saying thank you. You brought our culture, you brought food, you brought our religion, which is most important, religion and spirituality. And over the 105 years, over the 176 years, it has grown, it is not diluted, it has grown, it has expanded, and it has revolved into the Trinidad society. So we thank them for that.
Tell me something, Mr. Miraj. The different religious beliefs and practices we see among the East Indian community, did they come here with that, or is that one of the departures over the years since they've, evolved into the society?
Well, as far as the East Indians coming from India, from various states in India to work on the sugar plantation, there were various. There was the Hindu, there was the Muslim, and there was the Catholic. Because there were various parts. Like in southern India, you have the Portuguese, which is Catholic.
Yeah.
State where I come from, Uttar Pradesh, that is dominantly Hindu. Then you had other states which were dominantly Muslims. So we all came as one.
Yeah. Have you ever been? Have you ever been to your home city?
I dare say I have not. My 3 sons have. My family has. They go regularly. I have not been to India.
Right. And do you see any differences between how the culture is celebrated here as compared to how it's celebrated in India?
Well, from what I've seen picture-wise and from what I've been told, I have been told that we have maintained to a certain extent what was brought in Trinidad at that particular point in time. We scriptures closer than India itself. So, not fundamentalists, but we have adapted in the Western society of how life is done. But the essence of our scriptures is that it's past, present, future. And we operate in that direction in the Mahasabha, in Trinidad, and I think in the Western world.
Yeah. Well, it's very exciting to hear that, you've been able to keep the cultures and to keep the things that make you unique, because like even for us as people of African descent, that's one of the things we struggle with, when you realize just how critical it is to be able to hold on to your own religious beliefs, how important it is to hold on to even your own wardrobe. Because these things, don't you believe that all of these things help to shape and to craft your identity?
It shapes, it crafts, and it also helps us with our children, grandchildren. They understand where we came. When you know when you came from, it is, as I mentioned before, past, present, future. So we know where the future is. And we're very fortunate in the Mahasabha, like the other religious churches, we have our schools. And that is part of our curriculum.
Right. So you're able to continue the teaching and preach so that no matter what generation is coming, they can learn where they're from and what are the things that are important to you as an ethnicity?
Very much so. Like, for example, we deal with Pagua. What is Pagua? Pagua is the spring period in India. We celebrate Pagua in Trinidad. And the spring is a joyous occasion when you go to reap your crops. So you throw the powders or whatever,
Yeah.
So this is a part of our celebration that came down to us over the years. So
So we have Pagua, we have Diwali. What else do we have? What are some of the other celebrations that are there? If they're not holidays here, what are some of the things that are celebrated year round?
Well, what we have Pagua, we have various religion. Now, the Hindu religion, we have but one God, but various manifestations, both in the female and the male format. For example, for Diwali, God manifests himself, or the goddess manifests herself as Mother Lakshmi,
right,
over darkness, knowledge, etc. Then we have a period called Ganesh Ustav, where we have the elephant god, and that is strength and wisdom, and we celebrate that. So these are not major, when I say major, worldwide, but we in Trinidad, we hold on to it. Right. We have Shivratri, which is Lord Shiva, the creator, preserver, destroyer. That is the god with the blue throat and the matted hair. So we hold on to these things, and as they come along, it helps us to keep focus throughout the year. We have a Hindu calendar, but we operate with the Roman calendar. So we do have
but at least the Hindu calendar is there to signify and show all the events that you all celebrate. As I said, even if they're not national holidays, and even if, other ethnicities are not aware of it, is that among the community, there are these things that you all look forward to, and so you get an understanding and appreciation of what they mean.
Very much. I believe the rest of the community in Trinidad and Tobago, they understand.
Yeah.
Religion is about what.
So, Mr. Mirage, this year is different. We are in the heights of a pandemic. I think the worst phase Trinidad and Tobago has experienced thus far. I think, they say hindsight is 2020, right? But the thing is that when we look back, last year we were complaining so much, but this year we realized that we had a bumper year last year.
We did.
In treating with the pandemic and how we were able to manage the pandemic. How is the pandemic affecting, today Monday it would be in terms of how we normally celebrate Indian Arrival Day.
All right, what we're doing, everything has been done virtually, obvious. We're very fortunate at the Mahasabha that we have a radio and television station. So what we've been doing, we've been connecting with our 43 primary schools and 5 secondary schools. And the children are actually doing songs, skits, drawings, and so on. So as of tomorrow, that is the 29th and the 30th, we'll be doing programming for our children virtually. Tomorrow, each day of the year and the week is delegated to a manifestation of our God. And tomorrow is
Talk to us a little bit about that. When you say each day is dedicated to a manifestation of the God, what does that mean?
What does that mean? It means that we put aside that day to God in a particular form, be it a male or female. For example, on a Monday, we talk about Lord Shiva. I just mentioned the God with the blue throat.
Right.
The scripture says that he swallowed the poison of the world to save the world, and his throat was scarred for life. So we see him as the creator, preserver, destroyer, and that's on a Monday. Tomorrow is the day of Lord Hanuman, who was the greatest servant in our Hindu scriptures.
So Hanuman is the one with the many hands?
No, Hanuman is the one with the monkey-like face with the blue, with the paw.
Yeah.
Right? Tomorrow is his day. That's the day we celebrate him for what he has done. When our great couple of Ram and Sita was separated, and he went out to look for Sita to come back home. So he was.
You know what? Not to interrupt you, but for whatever reason, I never get tired of hearing that story. Because it's a story of overcoming, but it's also a love story. It has so many different themes that can be celebrated. And I think you know, it would be nice if we just have somebody telling that, like bringing it to life, you know, so that we can sit and watch it. Probably could be a movie. I don't know. Just giving us some ideas.
It's a storytelling dream, I should say. So,
Yes.
so tomorrow what we've done is that on our stations, radio and TV, we're starting off tomorrow morning, the period of the Indian arrival. We're starting off with puja prayers from 6 a.m. for 2 hours, and we're doing it virtually in the studio. We're asking around the world, people join us from around the world. They will have their ingredients, they will have all the necessary paraphernalia, and they will be doing it physically at the same time. And we'll be repeating the 6 p.m. tomorrow evening. So that is the day of the Hanuman, of our Lord Hanuman, the great protector.
Right.
So, you know, and as we go along on Thursday, we pay homage to Mother Lakshmi. That is her day, Mother Lakshmi, where we thank her for giving us light and, you know, showing us the way forward and so forth. And the end of in this case, the pandemic. So
right. But do you
pray.
expect that you'll have the same kind of participation, you know, considering that things are via Zoom, you know, it's so much, as much as we're able to do so much on Zoom, is that it's different from being in the physical world where, you know, you can draw strength from somebody, you can hold somebody's hand, you can get that intimacy. You just don't have that with Zoom. So do you anticipate that we'll get the same kind of, you know, reverence paid to the day, the same kind of homage with it being online?
I don't think so. But one of the things that we have noticed is that a lot of our homes are extended families. You have parents, grandparents, and so forth. And seeing that they're all locked away, everybody has gotten device. And I think that is where the family unit will come together to take a look. And this is where a grandchild could ask a parent or a grandparent, Mom, Dad, Aja, Aji, what is that? And you will get an explanation. I think so. You're losing in one hand, but you'll gain in the other hand. I think
And
this is
you're
what.
right, because you do. I mean, people have been, maybe it's an opportunity for them as well to be on Zoom, to see somebody who they haven't seen for a long time, because, you know, we've just been so restricted in how we move, and we understand why. But I know that because we're also social creatures and we rely on that connectivity and intimacy, that you might really have some people who you haven't seen in a long time coming out just as like, oh, Mr. Mirage, I haven't seen you a long time, you know?
It has been a lot of that indeed. You know,
you all should have a meet and greet session, man.
well, we do basically now and then, but you know, we should be doing that more often. I think the requires it at this point in time, a meet and greet. You know,
right?
Where we are.
Right. Sorry, go ahead.
No, this is where we are. So yes, we have lost on the one hand our large celebration, physical celebrations, but we've also gained the bringing together of family units, and hopefully that will be. I wouldn't say compensate, but what it will do, it will help us move forward in a more socialized manner, a more understanding of what life is, what religion is, and let us appreciate our elders.
Right. So if we weren't in a pandemic and we all were able to eat, to meet and greet, you know, food is on my mind. What would we have been cooking on the holiday? What are some of the traditional dishes that we'd normally try to enjoy on Indian Arrival Day? I mean, I know there are a lot, but tell me what we'd normally eat.
Usually there are about half a dozen meals that becomes a basic necessity on Indian Arrival. We'll talk about roti, rice, chana and aloo, shatain, pumpkin, and mango. And then you could put the whole shebang in anything else. But those are the basics.
Necessities, yeah.
You know, I look forward to that, the basics.
Yeah.
And everything else comes thereafter. You know?
Right.
That is a great meal of you know, and it's become basically a national dish that everybody
I mean, any restaurant you go into and you're going to get a roti, you're definitely gonna have the shatain, you're gonna have the aloo and all of that. So it's definitely a part of the culture, the cuisine of the culture.
Yeah. So we have integrated, and you know, this is what it's all about this year.
Yes.
So, I'm thankful for the opportunity. Are there any other questions that or little queries and so forth?
No. We're good, Edge. We just wanted to talk about, why it's important to celebrate and how it is celebrated. And I think we've covered that. So I really want to thank you for being a part of the No Morning Show. And I know even in the homes, people will still be doing what they can amongst themselves. So I think even that we have to be grateful for, because some homes have lost people to COVID-19 and might be in a whole different mood. So if there are people out there who are still able to celebrate these things, to me, it should just be a time of gratitude and appreciation for what we have.
Right, very much so. But one thing I wish to make an appeal. The appeal is to both the electronic media and the printed media. People at home, they're locked down. They need some kind of consolation. Their consolation, radio, TV, and this type of thing. And, we must understand that. And the negativity that is portrayed is having a drastic effect upon them. I deal with them, as I mentioned, we have 43 primary schools, 5 secondary schools, and a lot more, 1,200 teachers and this type of thing. And, it's important that we understand that we have to be able to cater for them. They're at home, 10 o'clock in the night, they would want to see a movie, they would want to see a documentary, this type of thing. You want to keep the home in a sanitary and a place of
peace. But I understand what you're saying, that it's definitely hard with what we put out on social media, especially even in the media. And that's why you have to stick with us at TTT. We love positivity, We like to give people that peace of mind, give them that comfort, because we understand how critical it is to not just put out the bad news, but to put out the good news as well. And that's why we have Carry and Rockers. We have a live DJ on set. We play our music just to put people into that good mood, that frame of mind where they can embrace all the negativity that's coming with their day, with their natural day. But Mr. Maraj, we do have to go. So I want to thank you so much for sharing with us this morning.
One thing, you asked me about the menu, but also remember, music is the food of the soul.
Amen.
Yes.
So I leave you with that. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome, Vijay Maraj, Acting General Secretary of the Sanatan Dharma Mahasabha. Go ahead, Rockers.
Thank you, my dear.